SimplyFi is an official add-on for Countersoft's Gemini project management platform that allows you to automate your billing and credit control processes. Before we get started, there are a few configurations that need to be set before you can begin to bill your customers. Firstly, any user who will have access to SimplyFi will need to have an API key set on their account. To do this, click the profile link on the top right and ensure that an API key is set. Click Update to save your changes. Now we're ready to set up SimplyFi. By default, SimplyFi ships with some of the required elements already in place, but there are a few others that you'll need to set up before you'll be able to create your first invoice. Firstly, your appropriate tax codes or tax rates need to be set up. You'll find tax codes under the administration section of the finance menu. Here, you can create as many tax codes as you'll need to cover all of your billing scenarios. For the purposes of this demo, we'll create two tax codes, one for VAT or value added tax and one for zero rated sales. Click on the add link to create a new tax code. You'll probably have noticed that I set the effective date for these tax codes to a date well in the past. This is to ensure that our tax configuration caters for any historical invoices I may want to import later on. Now that we have tax codes configured, we need to set up the appropriate payment terms to use for our invoices. By default, SimplyFi installs with a single payment term of on receipt, but we can add as many as we require and or remove those that we don't require. SimplyFi will need at least one payment term to be able to create an invoice. So for demo purposes, I'll create a new payment term called 7 days, which will become our default payment term and force the due date on all new invoices to be automatically set to 7 days from the date of invoice. Next, we need to check we're going to be invoicing in the correct currencies. By default, SimplyFi installs with US dollar as the primary currency. To change this, if you're outside the US, simply add a new currency as per your requirements and delete the US dollar currency. Note that you'll not be able to delete a currency once you have created invoices in that currency, so it's worth ensuring your setup is correct before you create your first invoice. Next, we'll need some customers to invoice. We'll cover adding, editing, and managing customers and contacts in a later video, so for now, we have a single customer already set up that can be used to create your first invoice. And that's it. You're up and running in just a few short minutes. In our next video, we'll cover some of the basics around creating invoices. Till then.